see a squad from the ACC, the Louisville Cardinals, taking on a team from the SEC, the Auburn Tigers. For EA Sports, I'm Reese Davis, Jesse Palmer, and David Pollack with me. Guys, can't wait to get this started. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. This place is roaring, and it's going to be so hard to operate under these conditions. From the gun, they'll try to impose their running game. A collision, and he stopped at the 27 after picking up one.
And what's the closest guy to the football, man? It's those defensive tackles, and those guards and centers have to work together. They got to get those guys and get some movement. They don't on this play, and the big fella eats. Nowhere to go. When you run into him, you usually meet the ground.
Stopped at the 42, but he got 15 yards on the play.
Out routes are very much about timing. It's got to be a quick, decisive movement from the quarterback. As soon as he sticks that foot in the ground, you know he's breaking out. Throw it right now so he can go make you a play. Great pitch, great catch.
Picks up the first down, still moving. And he's brought down after a nice gain. The Cardinals in the hurry up.
And how about that? Right after they get the explosive play running the ball.
Oh, he's got some space. Big pickup on the ground here to keep this drive moving and give them a first down.
Man, you gotta love the offense coming out with a plan. They're gonna feed their running back. Great job featuring him. Great job setting the physical tone. And they punched this defense right in the mouth and already got them back on their heels.
And his molars are probably rattling after that big hit, but he did get the first down. Last couple of plays, the offense seems to be just one step ahead, David.
Yeah, and I'm going to have to do something to disrupt the timing, the rhythm. I got to do something that they're not expecting, because right now they got the run and they got the pass working. So this defense, they have to find something new to kind of confuse this offense.
Defense is there to make the stop, but he's got the first down, and they'll have it first and goal at the 6. They'll try to get it in with the run. They get him on the ground at the 3-yard line, but this defense is taking some punches. Now second and goal, and right in the teeth of this noise. Touchdown Cardinals. Quick strike through the air for the score. You want to talk about a great way to start the game and set the tone early.
It's so nice to have a quarterback just get himself into the game and get himself established. You make a couple throws, you lead your offense down the field, you score right off the bat. Could not have been a better start for that QB.
Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. Bounces through the end zone. It's a touchback. They'll bring it out to the 25. From the gun, the running back has it. Picks up a useful 5-yard chunk after the 30-yard line.
And defensively, one of the most important things is stopping the run, being physical up front. That was too easy for this offense. You can't give up 5 and 6 yards a pop on the ground. Like, that is a recipe for disaster. They got to be more physical, get off the ball, get downhill faster.
Grab behind the line. It's Coleman. The defense wouldn't let him loose there, and it was a completion, but they lost yardage. Probably the toughest call on the play sheet. 3rd and long. Ball's at the 25. Throws to the tight end. He's got it. And the explosive play, and they're on the move all the way to the 44.
That's what's so scary about this offense. They've got guys in the perimeter that can change the game in one single play, and you saw it right there. Too much speed on the
breaks into the open. Knocked down at the 29-yard line. Picked up 15 yards on the play, and he's got a first down. Auburn people love to recite their creed, and I think somewhere in there, it's you should run the football well.
That's definitely a part of their blueprint. Every championship team, every great Auburn team starts with the big guys up front, paving the way, running the football, establishing that first will make the Auburn fan base proud.
They are lined up and ready to go and get things started here in the second. Back to pass. They'll throw it to the back on the screen. Not a whole lot of room there on that screen pass as it just never develops. Here they come up to the 23-yard line, not thinking field goal, wanting to convert this third and short. And the incomplete pass will bring up fourth down.
Oof, you got to be careful if you're the quarterback there. Third down, you know, you see a lot of exotic coverages by the defense. That time they played zone, and he tried to force that football into a real tiny window. He's lucky that one was...
Big man has it. It's a first down and more. All down, but he has enough to move the chains. And the Tigers have it with a 1st and 10. Here's the handoff. He's tackled right at the 10-yard line, and they're trying to cash in on this drive. Going to work on second down in the red zone, and still some ground to cover to pick up that first down. Looking to fire. He's got him still on his feet. Good throwing catch. Takes it down to the 5 as the offense tries to cash in. Clock stops. We have reached the 2-minute timeout, and they've got a chance to lock this thing up before the break. Boy, they'd love to pick up this conversion and go to work with a 1st and goal. Tries to surge ahead on the sneak. And from this angle, I don't think he got the first down. The defense won at the line of scrimmage.
Man, I like the call. 3rd and inches, I feel like I can get a few inches. I just need to fall forward, but this defense more than ready for the quarterback sneak.
Now, I think as a play caller, that just makes you second-guess everything. You'd love to think you can just dial up QB sneak to pick up that first down. Now, you're probably going to have to hand it off to the big fella behind you to keep this drive going.
With the run on 1st and goal. He pushes it forward all the way to the 2-yard line. They'll try to kick it into overdrive. Clock's running. Second down coming. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play.
Well, he gets tackled down at the 1-yard line, so offensively, do you feel confident enough on 3rd here trying to hand it off again?
Yeah, and I'm taking both these down.
Touchdown, Auburn! Fired in from the red zone for the score.
I was so excited for this game because I just knew it was going to be a back-and-forth battle. And that's what we've seen here. Great job by the quarterback. Good decision, reading the coverage, accurate throw. They get the extra point. This thing is all knotted up.
And he knocked that one right down the middle. And that extra point was good, and we're all tied up here in the second. Fielded in the end zone, it's Brown. Not nearly as much as he'd hoped when he brought it out of the end zone. He'll be stopped at the 15. Good news, I guess. A lot of room to work with as they start this drive from their own 15. Wants to throw. It's Moss. Got the quick pass. Steps out of bounds across the 25. They'll mark it at the 26, and a good pickup for this offense here.
Nice pitch and catch there from QB to wide receiver. Great job. An out route is all about timing. 1, 2, 3, boom, break out, throw to him right now. Great pitch, great catch.
And here comes the heat, and they get home, and they get him at the 21.
Well, that defender just was better in his one-on-one on the pass rush. He does a great job being the offensive lineman to get to the QB.
And the Cardinals with a long way to go after friends, is a busted play. Incomplete.
And how nice is it to have the home crowd going absolutely bananas? Communication is harder. The snapping the football, everybody being on time. Man, this crowd really affecting the football.
On 3rd and long, no secret what he needs here. They go to the wide receiver screen. Timeout is called, and it's the defense wanting to make sure that everyone's on the same page for this big down. The Cardinals will call on their punt team. This will be their first punt of the afternoon. He will signal for the fair catch and take it just inside the 35. Opening play of this drive comes from the 34. From the gun, they'll try to impose their will. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
It's hard to run on a defense that comes off the ball like that and runs to the football like that. Good luck. No holes anywhere.
Going to swing it on 2nd down. Makes a connection. And he was on his way. Gets it all the way to the 38. The offense wastes no time getting the timeout call. It's 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. Looking to throw on 1st down. Dances away. Finds his tight end. At the 20, he's got space. Almost took it all the way, but a huge gain, and he has him set up 1st and goal. Now the chance to pay off that big play from just outside the 5. From the gun, looking for a man. Oh, they're after him. Fires into the end zone. Touchdown, Auburn! Quick strike through the air for the score.
And the offense breaks the tie, takes the lead, gains some momentum. How big is this, Palmer, now going into the half with the lead, with the momentum?
Well, they break the tie, but they also break their confidence a little bit now. The opponent now has to go into the locker room probably down, and they're wondering, what adjustments do we have to make? What do we have to fix? Because we've got our work cut out for us in this game.
He'll bring it out. It's Brown. That gamble did not pay off as they bring him down at the 12-yard line. Enough time to get off a play before we head to halftime. To throw, it's Moss. Catch in the middle, it's Lacy. Tackle is made at the 22, but a nice 10-yard pickup there. Defense not showing press coverage. Just about set to get this 2nd half underway. Just one of those mistakes that can happen as the kickoff goes out of bounds. So the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty.
Okay, ready? Ringo! Flat.
Quarterback running on the draw. And how about the efficiency on that one? It'll bring up 2nd and 4.
And winning 1st downs is a priority for a defense, and you can't get bludgeoned. You can't get physically beat at the point of attack. You know the percentages. It's usually pretty good on 1st down that they're going to run the football. So them getting that big chunk, getting in 2nd and short, not a good job by this defense.
And the defense played that one beautifully, and they'll knock him down for a loss.
Well, the offense is trying to go with a trick play, and they're dialing up the reverse, but the defense had great eye discipline. They tracked the football from the running back to the receiver, and they were able to rally to him and make a big tackle for a loss.
Offense calls a timeout here. Critically important to make sure they have the right play called and everyone on the same page here. They've got a good chunk of ground to cover on 3rd and long from the 41. From the gun, wants to pass. Here's the pressure. He took a hit as he threw it and couldn't deliver the football. It's incomplete, and 4th down's coming. Auburn sends out the punting unit. Not able to pop the big return, but they've got the ball back and ready to go with a fresh possession. First play of this drive comes from the 27. The give to the tailback. Breaks the tackle. These little gains can start to add up as he gets it up to the 34. And the Cardinals will hustle to the line. Works his way to the 41, and that is plenty to give him a first down. So they move the sticks on the run. Let's see what they do with this one. Hand off from the shotgun. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender.
And sticking to the run. I'll tell you what, a lot of teams that are really good are really stubborn, and they continue to run the football even with little success. So this offense is going to continue to focus on running the football, you can tell.
After picking up a couple at 2nd and 8. Throws for the tight end. It's caught. Ripping through the defense. Turning it on. And he was on his way, and they get him down at the 30.
Well, Reese, you and I were talking about this before the game. How is this defense going to be able to deal with all the speed they have offensively? You saw them just rip off a big play.
And, Jesse, now their head's spinning just a little bit. Give up a big chunk play, and it's right back at them. The Cardinals are moving quickly down the field. Back to throw, it's Moss. Unloads to the wideout. Picked off inside the 20, and they snuff out the threat. They didn't give him much of a chance to make that play even bigger, but the turnover has him set up at the 16.
Who says defensive backs don't have hands? Nice job breaking on the football and making the catch. A lot of times you see guys swat it down, or you see them trying to catch it. It looks like they have 2 left hands. Defensive backs don't catch real well. Nice job breaking on the football. Nice job securing the INT and actually catching it.
Wants to throw on first down. Blasted as he lets it go. Incomplete thanks to the great defensive pressure there that sort of threw them out of rhythm. Try to make up for some of that lost ground on 2nd down. Handoff from the gun. They knock him down, but not before he gets it out to the 21-yard line. Pick up a 4. Now the defense will try to keep them on this end on 3rd and short from the 21. From the gun, wants to pass. Grabbed in the middle, it's Frazier. Doesn't quite make it to the first down marker. He's a yard short. And the offense stays on the field on 4th and 1. I'm not sure they're just trying to make the defense jump. I believe they think they can get it. Gets it out to the 27-yard line, and they'll move the chains for a first down. The Tigers come to the line with a fresh set of downs. Might as well give it to him again. He picks up maybe a couple before he stopped right at the 30-yard line. Here comes the 4th. Time to see who steps up, who makes the winning plays to take home that W. So the final period starts with a 2nd down play. Wants to go up top. Here's an interception. Oh, did they need that turnover? Touchdown, Cardinals! What momentum you get when the defense comes up with a play like that.
Great play by the defense, taking that back for a pick 6. And as a quarterback, if you're going to throw to your running back, you've got to be accurate with it. Remember, they are not receivers. And if you make it difficult and tricky, bad things happen, and it did right there.
The extra point is up and good, and we are tied up in the 4th. The kickoff unit is out there, and boy, did that last drive quiet this crowd. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. From the gun, the ground game. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
And there was no space, nowhere to go. That play went absolutely nowhere.
Sometimes you just need a dude to show up and make a play, and he did.
Sometimes you just need to block that dude, and they didn't.
Here comes the heat. At the 35, he's loose. Nice job by this junior quarterback to get it done on the ground. Finally, some signs of life from this offense, which has done nothing in the second half. It's 1st and 10. The give out of the gun. A solid pickup there before the defense is able to make the stop. The Tigers can really attack on this 2nd and short. Gives it on the option. And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield.
And when you play defensive end, it's all about getting off the football. You can tell, gets off the football really fast, gets in the backfield, gets the running back before he knows what hit him. What a play by the defensive end.
Grabbed over the middle. It's Cobb. Good pick up there. They'll move the chains, and they're set up at the 41.
Great job by the running back on this play. It's a big 3rd down, and his ability to catch the ball, turn around, get north, make a guy miss, and go move the sticks. Awesome individual effort.
Quarterback may change this route. To the air on 1st down. He'll throw it. And this is going to be intercepted. A big play in a tie game. He couldn't quite get loose on that return, but he'd already made the play, and they've got it at the 35. First play of this drive comes from the 35-yard line. They'll ride the running back and leave it with him. And they'll bring him to the ground after a short gain.
Man, it's really hard to control the running game if you don't control the line of scrimmage. And how about the defensive line doing a great job attacking those guys up front, not open up lanes to...
There he goes. They'll mark him down right there, and how about that play and picking up a chunk of yardage? The defense uses their 2nd timeout of the half as they try to get their act together. And the Cardinals have it in scoring position on 1st and goal. They'll try to get it in with the run. And he never had a chance, just stopped cold as soon as he got it. Defense has to use a timeout, and this call will be big. He'll run it to the middle, looking for the end zone.
And with the stuff there, Jesse, on 2nd down, this little 3rd to mid-range, you got 2 downs. What are you thinking here?
Maybe getting your quarterback out on the perimeter and giving him a run-pass option. See if you can get the defense in a bind.
Trying to power it in. That defensive front just flat whipped them as they knock him down for a big loss. And now on 4th down, they will put it on the shoulders of the kicker to save them with his foot. It is perfect. There's a lot of celebrating going on over there after taking the lead, but there is still time on the clock.
You can't say enough about this kid's poise. You're playing on the road. The crowd's going crazy, willing you to miss this kick, but he stayed dialed in, puts it through the upright, David, to give his team the lead here late.
It's crazy because it's nerve-wracking. You put your body on the line for so long, and then it comes down to a kick. And
he's going to try to hit him over the top. And that is interception number 3 on the day. Got room on the return. And a tremendous way for this defense to finish the interception as the clock reaches 0. You're going to hear guys after this game say, got to work harder, got to be more intense. You know, sometimes the harder you try, the worse it gets. And it seemed to me that's what happened out there today.
Yeah, it just never really got into a rhythm for this team. There's no doubt they've got a lot of very talented players on both sides of the ball. So, David, I don't think this is a situation where they need to now freak out and try to reinvent things on either side of the football. Just being in better rhythm early and trying to find that in their next game, I think would go a long way.
Yeah, and it's just finding a couple of those plays. What do I do really, really well? Let's continue to build on that. Let's take away these negative plays. Let's take away these turnovers. How do we create more turnovers? I think that rhythm you're talking about, Jesse, finding those things that I do well, building on them, and doing more of them.
That's going to do it from here. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis, and you've been watching another... Welcome to the home of the Penn State Nittany Lions, Beaver Stadium in State College, Pennsylvania. As we'll see a squad from the SEC, the Texas Longhorns, taking on the second-ranked team in the land, the Penn State Nittany Lions. For EA Sports College Football, Reese Davis with you alongside David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. Time to get this game started. And as the ball makes its way into the end zone, it'll be a touchback. They'll bring it out to the 25. Give to the back. Still on his feet at the 40. To the 43-yard line and a first down for this offense.
Yeah, I'm so impressed watching this guy run the football. And I'll tell you, I think Joe Paterno would have loved this guy in his offense, too. His teams always prided themselves on being able to run the football, right? Be more physical than the opponent. This guy has the ability to just wear defenses down. So hard to stop.
And the defense doing a great job committing to the run. When you commit to the run like this, obviously you can give up some plays in the passing game, but you got to stop the run first.
Here's a heat. Oh, it's a fumble. A fortuitous turn of events to keep possession of that one.
Woo. Deep breath, right, man? You fumble that thing, you cough it up, you're like, oh, I really appreciate you, brother. I can't tell you how much I thank you because the coaches would have been all over me, but big-time break for the offense.
And they'll miss the connection here on third down.
Well, they try to throw for it there on third down on the opening drive of the game. They don't get it, but let's punt the ball away. Let's trust our defense. And, guys, let's also trust this home field advantage and the crowd to get loud and make it real difficult on our opponent.
The offense stays on the field. Opening drive, still in their own territory. They'll go for it on fourth down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Good timing on the quick out. He puts him in business across the 50 into the 46-yard line. It'll be first down.
Wow, and that was just a bang-bang play. On that fourth down, the coverage was tight. QB had his receiver. He knew where he wanted to go with it, but the only way that ball gets completed is if he puts a little extra mustard on it, and he shows you the arm talent on the throw.
He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
Stopping the run is very high on every defensive coordinator's list. Making the team one-dimensional. Nice job stuffing the run on that play right there.
They'll keep it on the ground. He's going to lose a yard on that one.
I love when defensive backs come up and they are physical and they stick their face in the fan and they aren't scared. Talking to the defensive coordinator coming into this game, he knew his DBs had to tackle well. They had to get these running backs on the ground. Great start on this first drive.
Bringing the heat. Can't make the connection, and the defense putting on the heat and forcing the incompletion.
And I tell you what, when you got a guy that is that good at dissecting your defense, you better get pressure. Nice job by the defense, hurrying him up, speeding up the thought process.
Drop the football, and they'll turn it over on downs. A bold decision to go for it on fourth down, and one that did not pay off. This crowd going to try to make life miserable for these guys. Snags a quick pass on the left. And they picked up 9 on first down. It'll bring up second and short.
I think this receiver's forte is his route running. He's a guy that can line up all over the field, but it's not just catching post routes and goes. This guy can run shallows, he can run slants, he can run the option routes and find soft spots in the defense. This guy really has all the routes in his toolbox.
And he's brought down after a nice gain.
You got to give the O-line a lot of credit there because it gave the receiver time to work all the way across the field on the drag route against zone coverage. Quarterback gets it to him. He's able to turn it up and get a first down.
Offense threatening, 1st and 10 from the 31. The jet sweep pass. Shakes off the defender. And he fights his way forward, gets away from one, but not much doing on that one.
Great heads-up awareness by the cornerback on that play. He saw the receiver get the ball. He shot downhill and made a nice tackle.
Back to throw, it's Manning. Now adjusting. Fires left. It's caught downfield. He is down at the 1. A terrific run after the throw and catch. Let's see if the offenses can find a little rhythm here in the second. They'll try to open this quarter by sticking it in the end zone here. Defense in press coverage. Use the play fake, now to throw. And he rolls into the house. Touchdown Longhorns! This guy is so slippery, so elusive. He just vaporizes right in front of the defense.
It's crazy. You could play touch football in an elevator and lose to this guy. He's that kind of quick.
My philosophy on going for 2 is only when you have to. Motion from the wide receiver. Caught in the backfield, it's Wingo. Into the end zone for the 2, and they push that lead out to 8. A very efficient 5-play scoring drive. They're getting set to kick it away, and that last score took a little oomph out of this crowd. From inside the 15, here comes the return. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. No reason to be in a big rush. They have some time here late in the half. Off-play action on 1st down. Now improvising. Snagged in the middle. It's Dinkins. And he'll have enough for the 1st down at the 42. Big chunk play to start this drive. Now they'll really try to take it to this defense. Motion from the wideout. From the gun, running back gets to give. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage. Lost 1 on that last one. It's 2nd and 11. Back to throw, it's Allard. Quickly out to the tight end. They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that 1st down marker. The Nittany Lions come to the line on 3rd and short, trying to convert here. Oh, he's got some space. That'll be enough for the 1st down as they stop him at the 43-yard line. Quarterback and running back set up in the pistol. Down to 2 minutes to play in the 1st half, and it has been a dandy. A chance to perhaps get this game tied up before the break. The Nittany Lions will line it up on 1st and 10. Caught over the middle, it's Reynolds. They've got it inside the 30. They'll mark it at the 28. It's 1st down.
Well, they're running the curl route against zone coverage, so the quarterback knows he's going to have to put that one on his receiver. And you saw the velocity and the arm talent this guy has. That was a missile.
Caught near the sticks. It's Pena. He's there to make the stop, but not before. He sets up this offense, 1st and goal from the 7. The Nittany Lions, once backed up in the shadow of their own goalpost, have put quite a drive together. A 1st down run on the doorstep. He's brought down at the 6, but the defense feeling the heat to make a stop here.
They have just not been able to get this guy into a rhythm so far in this game. I know it's still the 1st half, but there's been nothing going for him like you just saw in that last run. He's an outstanding...
And he's loose, and he'll take it to the house.
That's a nice drive, a nice physicality, punching it in with the run game. And here's the thing, I like where this offense is going. Nice job creating some momentum, going into the half, cutting down the lead. This thing could get really exciting. Nice job answering the bell right before the half.
They're set to kick it off. You think this crowd's going to get loud when their defense comes on the field? Looks like he's going to bring it out. That gamble did not pay off as they bring him down at the 12-yard line. They take over late and have enough time to put together a drive. They'll move the wide receiver. Quarterback touch pass on the jet sweep. Never underestimate the power of moving forward and creating breathing room. He's up to the 17.
And these little touch passes, man, they're just the easiest completions ever for quarterbacks. Palmer, I bet you would have loved being able to just flip it forward. That counts as to your completion percentage, which is good. And then it's all run after the catch. So pretty easy for a QB.
You wouldn't have been the only All-American in this booth, David, if I were allowed to have push pieces when I was playing quarterback. I'll tell you that. It is so hard to defend. It's so hard to seal that edge, especially when this guy's full speed ahead coming around the inside.
These old girders are rocking on third down here at Beaver Stadium. To the air, it's Manning. Moves away as he feels pressure. And with not much doing downfield, he found his parents open in the stands and threw it to him. Boy, if they don't convert this fourth down, there will be questions to be answered. There's a timeout on the field. Tight game here late in the first half. So the offense is going to go for it on fourth down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Takes a hit as he releases it and just spiked it right into the ground.
And your goal of the defense is to stop them, is to force punts, and then this is just gravy. Now they go for it on fourth down and medium. On their side of the field, you get the big stop and a chance to switch the momentum here in the first half.
Wide receiver going in motion. Off the play fake on first down to throw. Touchdown, Nittany Lions! The finisher, the exclamation point on that drive.
And I just love the execution by this offense. Late in the half, man, you want to take the lead. You want to get that momentum on your side, and they do it. They finish it with the passing game. I'll tell you what, keep that passing game up. You can keep this lead, keep the momentum, and keep putting up numbers.
And here's the return. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. And he'll get this drive going from the 17. Coming out on first down with the play fake. Throws to the wideout. Missed his receiver there. It's incomplete.
The offense just has not been able to find a way to get their rhythm going here in the first half. We just haven't seen it in the passing game. That was a really good example of it again. If they're going to score more points in the second half, they've got to make some adjustments here at halftime.
Working well behind the sticks on second down. Out of the gun to give to the back. In a world of trouble from the start, and a massive loss on that play. The defense calls the timeout, their second of the day, as they try to get their act together. They've got them penned deep in their own end, and this crowd trying to help keep them there. Backed up in their own end, maybe a quick hitter. With the catch, it's Moore. Referee signals timeout as the defense wanting to make sure that they have everything just right with a big play coming. Fourth and a long way to go, but the offense is going to give it a shot. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. He tosses one high and deep down the left side. And they can't connect, a costly turnover on downs.
Well, I knew the coach was confident in his offense. I did not know he was that confident this early in the game. Fourth and long. I thought he'd just punt that one away and let his defense take the field. Interesting.
Splits the uprights right down the middle. Are forced to settle for 3.
And you want a touchdown and you want to be aggressive, but, man, right down the middle, that obviously gives me some confidence down the road that I can trust this guy.
He'll bring it back from inside his 5. And the coverage team able to wrestle him down. Just enough time to get off one final play of the half. Looking to throw, it's Manning. Got the back over the middle. Nice move, creates some space. Gets it out to the 22 before going out of bounds, and they are suddenly out of trouble. He'll put total leather and get this second half started. Just into the end zone, and he'll bring it out. Rolling the dice to bring it out of the end zone did not work out as he stopped at the 13. They'll try to put something together, backed up a bit, starting at their own 13. Keeping it on the ground to open the second half. That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball.
This offense has really struggled, and I think you're just waiting for one play, one explosive play to happen to hopefully galvanize you a bit offensively. That's not the case, and there, they try to run the football in the first play of the drive, and it gets absolutely blown up for a loss.
And the pass is incomplete, jarred loose by the hip.
Well, the quarterback knew he wanted to go to his tight end on that play. He's a big physical target, but it was the hit on the play that forced the incompletion.
On third and long, trying to have a big completion here. Makes the grab, it's Moore. Makes his way to the 17, but not enough for the first down. And the Longhorns will try to convert on fourth down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Complete out of the backfield. And they finally get him to the ground. An easy conversion for this offense. Defense, not exactly the perfect fourth down call there.
And that's a play the defense has got to be able to make, guys, right there on fourth down. You're in the third quarter, second half. You're playing at home, and it's a close game. You've got a huge opportunity to seize momentum. And you just get the feeling that that momentum is going to be a big factor here in the second half. Someone had to step up and make a play, and they just couldn't get it done.
Someone moved a little early, and the offense will go backward. The officials offer the deal, and the coach accepts it. They will take the penalty. Offense set on first down. Scanning the field, it's Manning. Hit hard as he released the ball on that first down pass, and it never had a chance.
And finally, the defense is able to get some pressure on this quarterback. They have been trying all game long different ways to affect him. Weren't able to get there. But on that play, because of the pressure, it affected his accuracy. That's why the ball falls in.
Here comes the offense on second down. Back to pass. Fires to the wideout. Got him downfield. They've got the defense reeling right now with that big play to the 29. Another big gain on the catch here. Big target out there like a Roy Williams was back in the day.
No doubt. And find your guys, find your matchups. And listen, when you're at Texas, you recruit at a high level. You usually get better dudes than you're playing against. Find those guys, let them make them.
Looking for the end zone. And it'll be intercepted in the end zone. They'll decline the penalty here and let the result of that play stand.
Ready, set.
He'll start this drive going to the air. He'll try to do it himself. He gets across the 25, steered out of bounds at the 26. The Nittany Lions can play this second down a lot of ways with just a few yards to go. From the gun, give on the inside. And he's got enough for the first down. They'll mark it at the 34.
You just sense the frustration starting to build, not only on offense, but I think with this running back as well. He is so talented. He's had some massive games throughout his career. Just haven't been able to get him going early in this game. That was a pretty good run there. Let's see if he can turn it on here in the second half.
Hey, even those balls that are thrown near the line of scrimmage, they're going to the running backs and to the tight ends. Those small passes can go for big gains. Great job getting the mitts up in the air and deflecting that football.
This one's complete. Turns it on at midfield. And he's brought down after a nice gain.
It's a nice play call there. You've got two-possession lead. You're trying to keep the defense guessing, right? Because you've got that lead. They know you're going to run it, but you still have got to be able to sprinkle in some shot plays and some vertical throws. That was really, really good thinking on that last play call by the offense.
And the Nittany Lions with myriad options after that big pickup on first down. To the ground with the back. And he is stopped for no gain, and that will bring us to the end of the third quarter. 1 quarter to go, and might we have the makings of a classic fourth quarter finish. So we open the final period with a third down play.
Clear. Clear.
Keeps it on the draw. He's going to come up a couple of yards short of the first down.
Yeah, and I think on that third down and short call, I honestly think that they thought it was going to be a fourth down situation. Now it's 4th and 2. I think this offense was ready for this opportunity, and I think they're going to go for it right here.
On 4th down, going to the air. Hauls it in, the first down and more. Breaks into the open. And they finally make the tackle, but this will be a pretty easy conversion for this offense.
I mean, how about it, guys, right? I mean, we're up here in the booth. We can't believe they decided to go for it on 4th down with the lead. We thought maybe, okay, he's just going to come up and try and draw him off sides and get a cheap one, get a cheap first down. But no, this coaching staff, they decided to go out and not just go for it, throw for the first down, and they get it. I guess that explains why they're down there on the sidelines. We're up here in the booth.
After the productive first down play, it's 2nd and 6. Quarterback will keep it. And he's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage by the big defensive tackle. This is a big third down. If they can move the chains, they can just about salt this game away. To the air. It's Allard. Quarterback moving out of the pocket. Couldn't find anybody open, just threw it away, and that's a smart move. You want to avoid the turnover, especially in the red zone. It'll be 4th down. So on 4th down, here comes the field goal kicker in a huge spot.
I really like the decision by this offense because now they got to score 2 touchdowns. Time is not on their side. I can stay very, very conservative. Use that clock. I like the decision by this offense.
It bounds through the back of the end zone. It'll be a touchback. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Give to the running back. Got room to work. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender. This Nittany Lion defense has just been suffocating. The front 7 has been dominant. Guys like Jack Ham would be proud.
Yeah, just big, physical, just owning the guys up front. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. The Penn State D-line just dominating this football.
Picked up 2 yards on that last one. They need 8 on 2nd down. Quick pass on the fly motion. And the defense snows him under after a very short gain.
Well, and on these little push passes, timing is so important. You're trying to snap it right as he's getting a full head of steam. When he gets the ball, he's hitting the outside, David. It puts the defense in such a difficult spot.
You immediately have to be rotating when you see that motion, so everybody's got to communicate and kind of bump over. That's why offenses love to run it. It makes the defense communicate and see if you can just get him out of a spot.
Just a hair too much on him from this big-arm sophomore quarterback.
Got to give this defense a lot of credit because even down to the last seconds in this football game, we're seeing outstanding effort. QB taking a shot down the middle of the field. There's a defender swatting it away. They have had this quarterback's number all game long, and that's why they're winning this game.
On 4th down, looking for the completion. Makes a catch, 1st down and maybe a lot more. Turns out to be an easy conversion for this offense as they move the chains on 4th down.
And that is a backbreaker if you're on defense. On 4th down, the opponent's throwing for it, not...
When you're ranked in the top 5, your very existence is a cauldron of pressure. And that is ratcheted up when you go on the road. And this highly ranked squad has found itself coming into a snake pit in this one. Welcome to Camp Randall Stadium, home to the Wisconsin Badgers. As we'll see a squad from the SEC, the Georgia Bulldogs, taking on a team from the Big Ten, the Wisconsin Badgers. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth by a couple of legends, and yes, we do use that term loosely. David Pollack from the University of Georgia and former Gator Jesse Palmer. Guys, let's get down to the field. Georgia about to kick it off to get us underway. That ball scoots through the back of the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. The offense changing the play. Looking to pass. It's Edwards. Finds his target down the middle. Turning it on!
And that is exactly where the football was supposed to go. Offensive coordinators call drag routes, anticipating man coverage. Even though the ball's only traveling 2, 3, 4 yards down the field, if the receiver is able to get a rub and create some separation, the quarterback hits him in stride, that little completion, that can turn into a 20, 30-yard gain.
They'll snap it on first down from the 35. Use the play fake, now to throw. Fires to the big fella. And good coverage by the defense, just a short gain.
I like the idea by the quarterback there. You're trying to get this first down, so you find the tight end, see if he can make a guy miss or shake a tackle. Not able to get it done.
What will they dial up on second and a long way to go? Oh, he'll keep it on the draw. And he was able to run through one tackle, but still only a modest gain.
And that run really didn't go anywhere. And a lot of times we don't focus on it enough. But how important those 5 guys are up front. To get on those defensive linemen, to try to move them out of the way, to get a run game going. it squarely falls on the shoulder of those 5 offensive linemen.
Here he goes breaking the pocket. That pass is well off target. He got hit as he was trying to throw, and they can't convert on 3rd down.
The hardest thing to do in football is to play on the road. So you want to get those fans as quiet as possible. That is a great opening possession for this defense. Not giving up any big plays and forcing the 4th down.
And the Badgers will bring the punt team onto the field. Promising start to that drive, sort of fizzled out, and they'll have to punt it away. Couldn't get away from that cover team, and they've got him down at the 23. Give to the left side. Stop behind the line. He'll lose a yard.
Don't you love energetic defenses that fly around, that make things happen? The ones that get in the backfield. The running back tries to go somewhere. Where do you want him to go? There is nowhere to go. Nice job by the defense creating the tackle for a loss on 1st down.
This crowd trying to make life miserable for this offense. Pulls it on the bootleg fake. The short hands, it's Frazier. There he goes. He was off to the races and maybe another step or 2 and he would have scored, but they get him at the 21-yard line.
Well, after that last play, you can see how electrifying this guy is and how special he is after he makes the catch. If I'm on offense, I'm trying to find a lot of ways to get him touches in this game.
That last big play has them in business. Just outside the red zone, it's 1st and 10. Use the play fake, now to throw. That's it, fly. It'll be incomplete. Tried to extend the play, but just couldn't find anybody open.
And how loud is it in this building? This is crazy. These fans are going absolutely nuts. And I used to love when the fans got involved, and I'm on defense, because it messes with the snap count, it messes with the communication, and it can really rattle an offense.
Really good job by everybody there. Well blocked, good run, and a 1st down. Georgia going up tempo. Draw play, quarterback keeps it. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play.
They try to go draw, but there's just way too much penetration in the middle of the offensive line, and that the offense has a negative play.
Defense rolls up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a 2nd and long coming. And the pass is incomplete thanks to a big hit.
And you've got a golden opportunity here now on 3rd down. I know you just threw an incompletion, but you've had a really nice drive to start this game. You want to cap this thing off, and you want to do that by scoring a touchdown. So think about who your best playmakers are and who needs to get a look on this critical 3rd down, whether you're running it or you're throwing.
Beck's going for the goal line. And he runs it in for the score. Touchdown, Bulldogs!
The offense goes as he goes, so really no surprise on the opening drive. They keep feeding him the football. He showed you all of his ability on that TD.
Setting up for the extra point after the first score of the game. And the PAT makes it 7-0. So it's a 77-yard touchdown drive. They're coming out to tee it up for the kickoff, and that last score was a real buzzkill for this crowd. That ball skips through the end zone. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 25-yard line. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. Off the play fake on 1st down to throw. And he was hit just as he was releasing the pass, and it falls to the ground incomplete.
I don't know about the decision that time by the quarterback. He may have been expecting man coverage, but that time the defense was in zone, and they did a really nice job closing the window. The intended target was not open, and that's why that one fell incomplete.
Unloads to the wideout. Pulls it in. Ripping off a pretty good chunk of yardage. They've got it out to the 41 with a first down.
That's a good-looking throw, and I know when we talk Wisconsin offense, we're always talking about running backs, but they've seen their fair share of QBs too. Darren Bevel back in my day, Scott Tolzien had some success, and then, of course, Russell Wilson also. This guy right now in this game, he needs to get himself into a rhythm, and if he gets there, he's dangerous.
The Badgers in a good spot here with second and short. Dragged down, but they'll move the sticks for a first down.
All right, nothing flashy there. He just did what it took to get the first down.
And the Badgers are on the move. Going to the ground. And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield.
And, man, it's nice to have a guy that is just better than your guys. And no matter what play you call, man, how about him getting in the backfield quick, penetrating, using his quickness, and using his strength to get him to the ground? That is a baller.
The Badgers now with a long way to go to pick up the first down. Timeout called here by the defense. It's the first one they've used this half. Backed up now, here's second and long. Looking for a man, it's Edwards. Setting up the screen. They bring him down, but a solid pickup to put them in position to pick up a first down.
I'll tell you what, if you want to be overzealous and you want to be a blitzer all the time, I like running the screen right behind him. Did a great job throwing the screen. Almost broke this one for a long game, but it just keeps the defense a little bit more honest if you want to start bringing a lot of pressure.
Might be changing the route. On third and long, he's going to have to throw for it. Pressure is effective from the defense. They knock him down just behind the midfield stripe at the 48. On fourth down, looking to pass. Shoots it to the left. Converts on fourth down. Still going. He wasn't far from taking it to the house, and that'll be the final play of the first quarter. And they've swapped into the field, and we'll get it going in the second. First play of the period, first down here.
29 Philly. 2-9 Philly.
They'll run it. Oh, he's got some space. Rustled out of bounds at the 12, and another productive play on this drive.
First down, physicality wins football games. Being able to run the football and create balance. And right here, just choose up another first down. Gives you another chance to maybe continue to run the football.
And I feel like this guy, too, is just an explosive play waiting to happen. His vision, his quickness, and he's got a burst. If you give this guy just a crease, he's going to hit it. And right now, he's doing some damage on this defense.
That completion will take it close to the 5-yard line. They'll mark it at the 6. QB draw. They'll get him stopped just short of the end zone, but they're in business here with a first down. And the Badgers pounded the rock to move the sticks, now back to work. Wide receiver comes in motion. To the air, it's Edwards. fires to the tight end. Got the completion, but nowhere to go as that defense reacted quickly.
They're able to find the tight end for an easy completion, but good job tackling, not allowing him to get the first down.
Can the defense stop them again on 2nd and goal? He'll run it to the right, looking for the goal line. Stopped behind the line, and that's pretty much going to offset the gain on the previous play. It must be great to be a Georgia linebacker. Coming downhill with speed, defensive front eats up blockers, and you make the play.
It is nice, and it's nice because usually they got 3 guys in front of you. They're eating 5, and those linebackers get to come downhill, make plays in the backfield like you saw right here.
That's looking for the goal line. And they will score. Touchdown, Wisconsin.
And that's why this running back is so dangerous. It's not just handing him off the football, but he's a weapon in the passing game. You see his ability to catch it, turn upfield, make people miss, and find the end zone.
Looking for the tie with the extra point. And the extra point was good as they finished the drive. That is what they mean when they say ball control, a 14-play touchdown drive. They're ready to kick it away, and this crowd is buzzing after that last score. On the move from inside his 5. And the returner is stopped. Drive will start at their own 27-yard line. Looking to throw, it's Stockton. Right down the middle. And it's incomplete. If you're going to take a hit like that, you might as well hang on to the ball. Plenty of work to do here on 2nd and long. Misfired on the last play. They'll go back to the air. This time it's complete.
Well, you hear all the time that the tight end's the QB's best friend. You saw a perfect example of it on that last play, right? 2nd down, you need to pick up some positive yards to keep this 3rd down manageable. Really nice job of executing.
Listen to this place. Oh, man, do they love their Badgers. 3rd down coming. They'll stick to the ground, looking for the marker. The Dogs will move the sticks. From the 39-yard line, it's 1st and 10.
They run it, they get the first down, and look at the offense. Right back on the football, ready to crank this tempo up.
The run game just has not been working for this offense all game long. You saw it on that last play as well. Just not getting enough push up front on the offensive line. They haven't been physical enough.
To the air on 2nd down. Under pressure, and down he goes at the 33. The clock winds down to 2 minutes, and we will take a pause for the 2-minute timeout. Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. On 3rd and long, doesn't need to take the check down. Catch in the middle, it's Branch. He stopped short, and it's 4th down.
You know, I got to tell you, as an offense, moving forward in this game, 3rd and long, you're going to have to push the ball downfield a little bit more. You got to throw to the sticks and give yourself a chance to convert these 3rd downs.
So the offense is going to go for it on 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Grabbed in the backfield. It's Frazier. Will not get there. A fourth down stop.
And I tell you what, I can justify when it's really short, but when it's fourth and medium on your side of the territory, man, that success rate continues to plummet down, and now they've just set this offense up in really good position.
Plenty of time left in the half here as they take over, but they will want to be efficient here in the final 2 minutes. They'll leave it with him. Good pickup on that play. It'll bring up 2nd and 4.
You love to see this on offense. Early in drives, getting that kind of yardage keeps you ahead of the chains.
The Badgers with a 2nd and short to keep this drive moving. Now the play fake. Got it behind the line. It's Mason. They knock him down, but he's got enough to get it across the line and pick up the first down.
Well, they pick up the first against zone coverage. The biggest key there is the quarterback understanding that A, it's zone, but B, what kind of zone is it? Is it one high safety? Is it two high safeties? And then you know instinctively where your best throw, where your highest percentage completion is based on what type of zone coverage it's going to be.
Dropping back, it's Edwards. Rushes on him. Bought a little time, lets it go. He can't find anybody. It'll be incomplete as the defense does a really good job in coverage.
Yeah, and I don't know what happened. He didn't look open as it is, and the QB's trying to make a play, trying to force the ball, but at least he threw it where his guy could catch it or nobody could catch it.
They'll go to the ground. Will not get close. Tackled at the 28-yard line. It's 4th down. The defense uses their 2nd timeout of the half as they try to get their act together. And the field goal unit is on the field. Never a doubt. Right down the middle. And guys, after the field goal, now they have the lead. After putting 3 on the board, the kickoff unit ready to go. The ball bounces through the end zone, and it will be a touchback. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. The give to the single back. These little gains can start to add up as he gets it up to the 34. We got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. And the Dogs can really attack on this 2nd and short. Looking for space, it's Frazier. They pushed it out to the 39 after picking up 5. They'll rush to the line. Clock stopped for the first down. They'll set the chains and wind the clock. Gets it to him on the screen. At midfield, he's got room. Turning on the Jets. Ripped off a huge chunk play on that one as he gets the first down before he steps out of bounds. Looking to pass inside the red zone. Didn't have much of a choice there but to get rid of it. Final seconds of the first half, and they'll try to put up 3. It's good. Easy call for the refs. And the field goal to end the half takes us to halftime. Rodgers will boot it away to start the second half. And he goes out of bounds at the end of the return. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. Trying to set the tone on the ground in the third. Not much doing there. He gets it to the 26, a gain of 1.
And, man, the big fellas up front, they don't get a lot of credit. They don't get talked about a lot unless it's negative, but they're the big component, man. They've got to get some push, to get some running lanes, get this running game going. They're the ones that make it go.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. To the air, it's Stockton. Pocket breaking down. And they get to the quarterback and knock him down back at the 16.
That is a great job getting to the quarterback. And when you're playing in Camp Randall Stadium, one of the loudest atmospheres in all of college football, and your offensive line can't hear the snap count, and you've got dudes like T.J. Watt or J.J. Watt coming off the edge, it's not a lot of fun. It's not really fun for this quarterback right now either with this dude rushing.
On 3rd and long, you'll need to push it downfield. Going for it all. He can't make the grab. It's incomplete, but there is a flag, and I believe this is going to be pass interference. The offense will gladly take a fresh set of downs after the penalty. The give to the back. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
That's such a great physical play by the defense because this is one of the bigger, more physical running backs you'll see in the country, and we're used to seeing him push the pile the other direction, not that time. It's the big guys up front on defense getting penetration, and they're sending him back for a tackle.
And the pressure gets there, and down he goes at the 18.
One of the things I hated as a quarterback was the blitzes from the inside linebackers because those guys end up in your hip pocket quickly. It's really hard to step into throws when you've got inside linebackers bringing the heat.
Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. They'll run the screen. Didn't have much room to run. It's not a whole lot of help. Short gain there and still plenty of ground to cover for the first down.
Nice job by the defense there on 3rd and long, just sitting back and keeping everything in front of them. They give up an easy completion, but because they were able to rally and make the tackle, now they set up 4th.
Georgia lining up to punt it away. Getting our first look of the afternoon at the punter. He'll aim it toward the sideline to try to make it tough on the return team. They'll open this drive from their own 42-yard line. Quarterback making checks. Here they're trying to get to the edge. Got enough for the first, and he's still going. All down, but he has enough to move the chains.
And this is a really good job of getting on the perimeter so quickly. When you run these tosses, you get away from the big boys. And when you got speed in the backfield, let him do the rest, right? Flip it to him, let him get outside, let him run the football, make a big gain. When you got speed at the running back spot, you definitely want to toss it to him and get him on the perimeter.
And he never had a chance, just stopped cold as soon as he got it. Lost one on that last one. It's 2nd and 11. Off play action. Still looking on the move. And he will wisely throw it to the kid playing the tuba.
And that was good defense again, and unfortunately we've been saying that all game long. Really, really good defense. Or, listen, you can spin on the other side. This offense has really been bad.
Stepping to the right. On the move, he fires. Another incompletion on third down.
Third and long situations are really hard to convert. The defense knows it's going to be passed. The pass rushers are getting upfield. You're under pressure. You don't have timing. And as a result now, fourth down.
No good. And after the missed field goal, guys, we are still locked up.
Oh, just didn't have enough leg. It looked like he had the accuracy. It looked like it was going right between the uprights, just not enough power on the kick.
First snap of this drive comes from their own 41. Looking for a physical attack from the gun. They'll knock him down for a loss of a couple.
And that's exactly what you want to do as a defense, man. You want to get penetration and not let that tank get downhill. Because when he gets downhill at that weight and that size, it could be a problem for your defense. Get him before he gets started.
Not what they had in mind to start this drive. Here comes 2nd and 13. Looking for a man. It's Stockton. Got it in the middle. It's Thomas. And he's able to shed one tackle and gets a pretty good pickup.
And that was a nice throw by the QB. When you see that drag route coming across the field, how about putting the ball right on his numbers? Not high, not low, where he has to stop his momentum. Right on the numbers where he can catch it, keep running, and chew up some yards after the catch.
He just needed a yard on third down, and there just wasn't any room to pick it up. Needs it to keep this drive alive. Breaks into the open. They make the stop, but he'll have enough yardage for a first down. Georgia comes quickly to the line.
And these are the plays you know exactly what you're going to get up front. The offensive line does a great job blocking. Just create a little bit of a hole, pound through that hole. That running back, they can't tiptoe, they can't dance. Run north-south and get that first down. Nice job.
After picking up a couple, it's 2nd and 8. Caught behind the line. It's Bell. Running wide open down the gut of the field. Touchdown, Georgia! And that one will put them up here in the second half.
This receiver is dangerous because of what he can do after the catch. Once he has the football, he is so good at making defenders miss. Saw it on that play.
Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And the extra point is true, and they're on top by 7. So that scoring drive took only 6 plays. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. That one bounds through the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. Drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Back to pass, it's Edwards. Using the back as a receiver on the screen. And that one looked great on the grease board, but when they blow it up like that, the defense is going to win every time. Period to go to see who can make the winning plays and come home with the victory. They had a chance to mull things over, and let's see how they start the final period here on 2nd down. Looking to fire. Got away from trouble and got rid of it. He's got the back in the middle. He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there, still a bit short of the first down.
You just get the feeling this defense is going to make it hard on them, right? They've got the lead, it's late, and they're going to try to tackle everybody inbounds. Offense is going to have to really work for this and be smart. You got to attack the sidelines. You got to throw first downs. You got to keep this thing moving vertically down the field.
They've made third down offense a key. It'll be tested on 3rd and long from the 28. From the gun, wants to pass. Using the quick game. He'll have enough to move the chains. It's first down at the 38. The Badgers come to the line with a new set of downs.
And this is why checkdowns are so big. There's a lot of quarterbacks in these types of situations on 3rd down. They just want to make the home run, highlight-type throw. But a nice job being poised and making a good decision, checking it down to the running back here to help your offense out.
The offense has a little bit of success on the ground, and they're up. Look at them. They're ready to go again. Back on the line of scrimmage, ready to run another play.
And how about the work up front by that big defensive line? Looking to throw, it's Edwards. Under fire. And the defense gets home and makes a play at the 37-yard line.
And how about the aggressive play call? 3rd and 1, and you still throw the football, taking a shot, saying, I'm going to go make a big play. The defense was disciplined, get the quarterback on the ground. Nice job by the defense.
Trailing by a possession, they need to keep the ball. They'll try to convert on 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Makes the grab. Just gashing this defense. A big gainer to the 40-yard line.
Well, that is a play that we're going to circle. If this team is able to fight their way back and win this game, that one was huge. 4th down, picking up the first, getting some momentum and keeping this drive alive.
Big drive for this offense late, trying to tie the game. They've pieced together a couple of first downs, and here they come again. Use the play fake, now to throw. On the move to his left. And he was drilled just as he released the pass. It's incomplete.
And the quarterback gets hit again. We already know this defense has gotten home to him multiple times in this game. So here you are, you're trailing in the game. Defense knows you're going to throw it. They're pinning their ears back. You can't feel very confident right now. If you're the play caller, certainly if you're the quarterback, that you're going to have time to throw.
Stop just inside the 30 at the 29. It's a 10-yard pickup and a first down. They'll run play action. Fires to the tight end. Across the 15. Defense makes a stop, but the chains move, and it's 1st and goal from the 8.
And that's why QBs love their tight ends so much, right? Especially when they're athletic, because they make short throws turn into long gains. Because of his ability after the catch, it's so unique and special. He is dominant in this offense.
Trying to ball his way in. That completion will take it inside the 4, and the offense is threatening. Now on 2nd and goal. Handoff to the single running back. And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Badgers. Precision blocking up front. Created the open lane, and the running back followed it beautifully.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to follow an offensive line that makes those holes and just gives you a caravan all the way to the end zone. What an unbelievable job blocking up front.
He'll bring it out. It's Branch. Slips through the line. Oh, what vision. There he goes. Open it up. He will score. Touchdown, Dogs.
What a great game. Tied late in the ball game. Who's going to make the big play? They come up with it late. Take the lead. Nice execution. It's hard to execute in these moments. People get tight. The score's tied late in the game. I don't want to mess up, but this offense doesn't worry about messing up. They put the ball in the end zone and take the lead.
The extra point is good, and now in the 4th, they're up by a touchdown and an extra point. The kickoff unit is out there, and boy, did that last drive quiet this crowd. He'll bring it back from inside the 15. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to down there and make the stop at the 19. So they start this drive from inside their own 20 at the 19-yard line. Back to pass, it's Edwards. And the physical play there forces the incompletion on first down.
And obviously the offense is in a difficult position here, and you're asking a lot from them. They're down by a touchdown, not a lot of time on the clock, deep in your own end, but this is something that you're trained for. Coaches always put their offense in this situation in practice leading up to the big game. It takes timing, it takes execution, but that is something this offense is ready to do.
They'll go to work in the air on second down. Here's a throw downfield late. And the incomplete pass taking a shot on second down, and they'll be left with a third down.
And this is a big third down for this offense, man. I'm really interested to see how they attack, because this defense, you can tell, man, they're going to continue to play aggressive. Late in the football game, they want to get a stop, get the ball back to their offense. A good chess match going on right now.
This defense has kept them backed up. Now one more stop, and they can get off the field on third and long. Got it in the middle. It's Mason. It's a game of first downs, and they've got one out to their own 37. Leaves it with the running back. Turning it on. He'll work his way down to the 28.
I love the play call running the football here in the fourth quarter, because with the score what it is right now, everything is at your disposal on offense. You are not panicking. This isn't throw every single down, all of a sudden 2-minute air raid type stuff. You can run the ball. You can do all of your stuff, personnel, shifting, motioning. You just got to be very, very careful and absolutely cannot turn it over.
And the Badgers headed quickly to the line. Little over anxious, out of the stands early, and it's a false start. So the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty. And here comes the offense on second down. Dropping back, it's Edwards. Gets it out quickly. And he wisely gets out of bounds. The clock can be the enemy right now, and this offense needs to get some points.
Where's the defense on that last play? It's a 2-minute situation. You've got the guy making the catch in the middle of the field. You've got to tackle him in bounds and keep this clock moving. Somehow they were able to let him get outside and stop the clock. That just can't happen.
Timeout called by the defense. It's their first of the half as they'll make some adjustments. And they are looking to pull even with a touchdown here in the fourth quarter. Quarterback sneaks it ahead. Scores on the sneak.
Great job with the score. And listen, right here at this point in the game, there's still going to be time left. My defense is going to have to make a stand regardless. I'm going to kick the extra point because the field goal still beats me if I go for a 2-point conversion.
And he knocks it through for the tie here in the fourth quarter. And he takes this from inside the 5. Couldn't find a way to create that broken field as he stopped at the 25. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. Starts a drive trying to go up top. Caught in the backfield. It's McCray. Still on his feet at the 45. A huge gain on that one before he ran out of bounds, and he has the first down.
Man, this offense is so dangerous, Reese. They've got dudes all over the field that can make plays. There's a big gainer in the pass game.
You get a chunk of yards like that, now the defense is really on its heels. So that big play changes the complexion of things. It's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. They'll run it from the gun. You'll take this every time. 5 yards on the first down play. Quick timeout by the defense there, trying to make sure everyone has the same call. Halfway there on 1st down, it's 2nd and 5. Looking downfield, it's Stockton. Got it set up on the outside. Not a whole lot of room there on that screen pass as it just never developed.
And listen, I know that wasn't a huge gain. It was positive, but I like doing more of that in today's college football. I'm just going to try to give my playmakers a chance to do damage in space away from all the big boys inside.
Listen to this place. Oh, man, they love their Badgers. 3rd down coming. To the ground to try to pick up the first. Absolutely nowhere to go as this defense makes a 3rd down stop. The defense going to stop the clock with a timeout. They want to make sure they have everybody on the same page. Field, and everybody want to make sure they're organized as we come down the gut of the game. Tie game here late in the 4th. They want to control the ball, and they're not going to punt it away. They'll go for it on 4th down. Complete and looking for enough for the 1st down. And the Bulldogs are stopped, but not before getting it past the sticks. They go to the ground. They'll pick up 4, 2nd and 6 coming. Now they've got to hustle to the line and get set. Dropping back, it's Stockton. Quarterback extends the play. They finally get him on the ground, but not before he rips off enough for a 1st down. Timeout called by the offense. 23 seconds remaining in the game. Fans are bringing the noise on 1st and goal. They'll try to get it in with the run. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
You got to have that defense you know you can go to in running situations. Your base defense where you say, okay, this is where I'm going to start, and I'm going to stop the run, stuff it up front. My guys play big up front. Then if I need to add some blitzes to it later on down the road, I can. A great job in the base defense making a play.
The kickoff bounces through the end zone. They'll bring it out to the 25. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Quarterback making adjustments. Looks as if they didn't get it off in time. It'll be a delay of game. Offense took a little bit too much time at the line there. You know, there's no real reason to panic, but if you think about it, when does panicking ever really help? But certainly this was a bitterly disappointing outcome.
And you can look at a lot of different statistics, and I know we tend to overcomplicate college football these days, but guys, at the end of the day, it comes down to two very simple things. You can't turn the ball over, and you can't have penalties. You do those things, David, and it'll beat you every time.
That's the difference between winning and losing. It's the small things, but find those things that you need to improve on. Keep working on them. Keep developing. Those things you do well, dude, let's do those. Let's do more of those things more consistently.
Thanks so much for spending some time with us. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis, and this has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football.